Update. Cumberland County authorities remove horses at Witts End Quarter Horses. WRAL News. Horses removed from Cumberland County farm over concerns of abuse. Fayetteville, North Carolina. 7 horses were removed from a Cumberland County farm as part of an investigation into possible mistreatment. Cumberland County Animal Services said Monday 2 adult horses and 5 foals were removed from Witts End Quarter Horses property in the 4800 block of Enniskillen Road. The horses are being evaluated by an equine veterinarian. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office is investigating whether to consider charges of animal cruelty. Video shared with WRAL News shows a young horse being sprayed in the face and other places while it is on the ground. A different part of the same video shows the horse falling to the ground. Other videos show a horse being dragged and a young horse flailing around while on the ground. WRAL News reached out to Witts End Quarter Horses. No one would comment about the horses being removed, but someone with the company emailed over the weekend.
I have no reason to speak our side of the story to you guys. Animal control and the police will be the only 2 authorities that will get our story. We have nothing to hide and the truth will come to light and make everyone online look like idiots.
From WRAL News. This news coverage does contain small video clips from the original video footage of the alleged abuse. I have censored the alleged abuse.
Has looked into for days now. Cumberland County Animal Services confirms it's investigating possible animal abuse in Fayetteville.
Today, 7 horses were removed from a property during this investigation. WRAL's Chris Levingood has been on this story since he first obtained a video of the alleged abuse. Joining us now in studio, Chris.
Well, Ashley and Dan, viewers have called WRAL, and they reached out to me directly for days. And after obtaining and vetting a video you, the viewer, might find disturbing, in today's update in the investigation, we can finally share what we learned. This is the video that sparked it all. The video shows horses at Witts End Quarter Horses on Enniskillen Road in Fayetteville. At one point, you see one young horse being sprayed, among other places, in the face while on the ground. The same video shows the horse falling to the ground. A different recording shows the horse being dragged several times. The horse is lying there as this happens. And in a different video, you can see the young horse flail around while on the ground. Finally, a separate recording sees the young horse flail again and is pulled. The horses are now being evaluated by a veterinarian, and the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office is investigating whether there was animal cruelty. WRAL has reached out to Witts End Quarter Horses about this story. No one has commented about the horses being removed, but someone with the company told us earlier, in part, quote, "I have no reason to speak our side of the story to you guys. We have nothing to hide, and the truth will come to light and make everyone online look like idiots." Now, the investigation is ongoing. Plus, a veterinarian has a finding that will be considered in determining whether charges should be filed next. And Ashley, real quick, just for our viewers who have actually reached out to us for this story, we got your messages, we received your calls, we received your Facebook messages, but we have to make sure that we dot our I's, cross our T's, and do our homework before we presented this story forward.
Absolutely, that's our job. That video is really hard to watch. Chris, thank you.
New tonight, WRAL went to an expert about an ongoing animal abuse case in Cumberland County. 7 horses were removed from a property this morning.
That happened after a video surfaced showing the alleged abuse. WRAL's Chris Levingood has been looking into the story for days. Chris, what did the expert have to say?
Well, to put it bluntly, Ashley and Gerald, she was appalled. Kristen Ide with KY Performance Horses in Benson, North Carolina, says that she has trained, rode, and raised horses for 20 plus years. She said she saw that video, which our audience may find disturbing, and she says it's clear you do not handle horses that way.
That's not how you train a horse in any capacity. There's never a reason to go to such methods.
Kristen Ide agreed to talk to WRAL about this video and other recordings showing a horse at Witts End Quarter Horses in Fayetteville. You see it being pulled, dragged on the ground, and water hosed in its face while on the ground.
It was just heartbreaking to watch that.
Ide says if the owners of that horse think they're breaking in the animal, they're not only not doing it right, she says they're creating lasting damage, not helping it.
No.
Even just now, I noticed you shivered. Like, it looked like you had a physical response to your disgust and what you saw.
I mean, it's terrible. it's a baby. They don't know any better. They're looking to you to lay that foundation in there and to show them a correct start in life.
WRAL has reached out to Witts End Quarter Horses about this story. No one we reached out to has commented about the horses being removed, but someone with the company told us earlier, in part, quote, "I have no reason to speak our side of the story to you guys. We have nothing to hide, and the truth will come to light and make everyone online look like idiots. But for Ide, she's just happy this is being looked into by Cumberland County Animal Services and the Sheriff's Office."
What's done is done, but it should not have been and hopefully never is again.
Now, the investigation is ongoing. Plus, a veterinarian's findings will be considered in determining whether charges should be filed in this case. And I should also mention, Ashley, that Kristen Ide also mentioned that she really hopes that people look at this video and take the moment to really educate themselves on the proper way to break in a horse.
Oh, it is really sickening to watch that video, Chris. Thank you for getting that expert insight.
Breaking this hour, WRAL has learned now Cumberland County Animal Services received hundreds of calls and emails because of very disturbing videos, several videos actually showing alleged animal abuse at a ranch in Fayetteville, including a horse being dragged. I want to bring in WRAL's Chris Lovingood now for his coverage on this. Chris, you asked questions during a press conference about an hour and a half ago.
Well, Dan, the Animal Services Director, said off the top they weren't actually able to answer some things about this case because it's ongoing, but I still asked some questions. After clarifying, yes, 7 horses were removed from Witts End Quarter Horses, there are still animals on the property. Director Elaine Smith said the horses removed were at highest risk for injury. She also tried to reassure the public an equine veterinarian is checking the horses for injury and animal cruelty investigators are involved. I asked if Witts End would have to close if found guilty of animal cruelty, and Smith said a judge would decide that. And here's what else I asked.
I think Chris from WRL follow-up he knows we're limited in what we can say, but is Witts End cooperating with the investigations?
They were cooperative in allowing us to remove the horses and did assist in humanely handling and loading the horses for transport off their facility. So yes, I would say they were cooperating.
I also learned Cumberland County received more than 500 calls and emails about that video. The next step in the process is awaiting the results from the veterinarian. And Dan, I did reach out to Witts End again earlier this afternoon. Haven't heard back.
I know we've been getting a ton of calls here in the newsroom, people very disturbed by what happened there. Chris, thank you.
And questions will be answered to the extent they can be. If you would please submit your questions through the chat function, and please keep yourself muted throughout the conversation. I want to introduce a few people on this call. First, we have Elaine Smith, our Animal Services Director for the county. We also have Assistant County Manager Heather Skeens. And John Souls is also on the call, a public information specialist with our Public Information Office. Again, please keep your microphones muted, and we appreciate your interest in this event. I'll turn it over to Elaine Smith now.
Hello, everybody. Just to confirm, can everybody hear me? Okay. So I'm going to be reading a prepared statement here, and then, as Brian said, we'll do questions as we can afterwards. So, Cumberland County Animal Services responded to Witts End Quarter Horses in the 4800 block of Enniskillen Road on August 2023 to investigate after receiving allegations of animal abuse being committed at the location. We obtained an administrative inspection warrant on August 18th to observe the animals in question and collect further evidence. After reviewing the evidence, Animal Services obtained a search and seizure warrant from the magistrate's office, and on August 21st, 2023, impounded 7 horses from the property. 2 of the impounded horses are adults and 5 are juveniles. All are being housed at Cumberland County Animal Services at this time. The investigation is being handled by trained and certified animal cruelty investigators within Cumberland County Animal Services. We have brought in an equine veterinarian to evaluate the health and well-being of all 7 horses to determine whether any injuries were sustained by the horses as a result of the alleged abuse. We are not releasing photos of the horses at this time. We cannot comment on the results of the veterinary examination as it is not complete. This is still an active investigation, and therefore we cannot discuss further details of the case at this time. If at any point felony criminal charges are warranted, that determination would be made by the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office and charges would come from that organization. We encourage concerned citizens to monitor the county website or social media accounts for updates. Due to the overwhelming number of phone calls and emails, we will not be able to respond to these individually. We appreciate the community's commitment to ensuring that these horses and all other animals are free from mistreatment. For anyone who wishes to make a monetary donation to support these horses and other animals at our shelter, checks should be made out to the CCAS Animal Medical Fund and delivered in person to Cumberland County Animal Services or by mail to Cumberland County Animal Services, 4704 Corporation Drive, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 28306. If you wish to donate supplies to support these horses or other animals at the shelter, a list of approved items will be posted on the website and our Facebook page by 12 p.m. on August 23rd, 2023. Please drop off all donations to the Animal Services building. So that is the end of that statement. So Brian, I'll let you kind of coordinate questions.
Yes, we would encourage, for members of the media, please enter your questions in the text box and submit them. I do know one question that has come through, where have all animals been removed from the property? I know that was something that that was a question yesterday. Elaine, can you confirm?
There are still animals on the property. We removed the animals that were at the highest risk of further injury. There are other animals on the property. There are some limitations as to what we can adequately house and care for at any given time, and that's part of the reason why. But we are monitoring other animals on the location.
Okay. Question from Chris with WRAL. Would Witts End be required to close down if they are found guilty of animal cruelty abuse?
That would be a determination of a judge.
Okay. Question from, let's see. I'm not sure about the question from Crystal Myers in terms of what is meant by all owners. Are there any other questions at this time? I think Chris from WRL follow-up is, he knows we're limited in what we can say, but is Witts End cooperating with the investigations?
They were cooperative in allowing us to remove the horses and did assist in humanely handling and loading the horses for transport off their facilities. So yes, I would say they are cooperating.
In terms of a court date being set, I'm not sure. Elaine, do you? I don't think that.
We are not even, first there has to be an investigation concluded, and then it would be a determination of what charges, and then that would be up to the court system to set a date. So that would, to be honest, that would be a bit off, several days to weeks off at least.
And again, I think some of these questions, we cannot speak to the fact that this is an ongoing investigation, and there is some information that we're not able to provide at this time. Chris, follow-up, Witts End paid a $2,500 civil fee for foregoing an EIA test document. Are there any other allegations you're privy to regarding Witts End?
I can't, make any comment on that at this time. So no, we're investigating the information that is provided to us. That's something we can definitely look into further.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the media? Okay, again, we appreciate your attendance and we'll again continue to follow up as there's more information to provide. Again, the investigation is ongoing and we appreciate your participation. There will, again, as mentioned in the statement, there will not be photos of the horses or video footage at this time. However, media outlets are certainly able to get B-roll out in front of animal services, as would traditionally be the case with any county facility. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
So I guess that's all for now. See you next time. Bye.